Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now December 1st of 2025, and given that the entire concept of Hollywood is now falling apart, we know that the film industry, the music industry, and the many Hollywood celebrities that represent both of those industries are now actually putting them in jeopardy because they are actually getting way too overly political, pushing their anti-Trump narrative that nobody wants to listen to. Whether you are for or against Trump, it doesn't matter. It's driving away fans of these specific celebrities, whether it's actors, writers, producers, comedians, performers, singers, whatever, and now people are beginning to realize that it has a lot to do with the media as well. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, as for the media, when we look at The View via ABC and the Walt Disney Company that operates it, is that we know that the hosts of The View, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Whoopi Goldberg, they are nothing more than just a trio of political talking heads. That's really what they are at the end of the day, pushing their political narrative, pushing their overall agenda that nobody wants to listen to the point that even The View's dedicated loyal fans, long-time loyal fans, are now beginning to see through the mask and the lies of these talk show hosts. Now, they had a couple of things to say in the midst of the Joe Biden twist that recently happened about the whole Autopen drama. I'm sure that you heard about this, where President Trump made a very big announcement that all of the orders signed by the Autopen via Joe Biden are now going to be canceled. That's his overall plan. And it is indeed stirring up a lot of controversy, a lot of drama. There's a lot of people saying that he can't do that, a lot of people rooting for that idea, and it's clashing into each other. And now you have the hosts of The View really going off and how that contributed to an even bigger ratings disaster. Let's get into it. Now, interestingly enough, alright, with both Hollywood and the media now dealing with growing backlash from the public that is showing no signs of stopping, one major development that is now active involves more to do with The View hosts Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar, and Whoopi Goldberg, who recently put themselves in more trouble after they made comments about the recent Joe Biden twist that is now going viral that caused their ratings to drop to an all-time low. Now, Sunny Hostin first decided to comment on President Trump announcing that Biden's orders that were signed by the Autopen will be canceled. Sunny delivered the following: "You all have to be fools to not believe that we are now living in an authoritarian society if you just look past what Trump is doing to President Joe Biden, who is one of the most respectful presidents of our time. Trump has the audacity to not only go after the media and bring down their ratings, but now believes that he has the right to cancel Biden's orders that were signed with the Autopen, and claiming that a lot of them were signed by the Autopen. I'm just gonna say it, this is exactly how a king would operate, going after his political opponents when they aren't even a competitor anymore. This is the type of person Trump has brought himself down to. And as for Trump supporters, you all don't deserve to be in this country if you support this extreme decision coming from the president. Trump has signed hundreds of orders using the Autopen. He is nothing but a liar, and so are tens of millions of Americans living in this country that voted for this man. If you support this, then I don't know what else to say. I'm really starting to cry knowing that this is not just hype, but our country truly is falling and already is under authoritarian leadership." Now, Joy Behar then stepped in to deliver her response after Sunny Hostin. "I want you all to take one look at the media outlets that Trump went after. They are now dealing with hardships just like us because all he does is lie about the hosts that run these type of shows. And for him to go after President Biden by canceling his orders, he cannot do that. How dare he? Only lunatics would support such a thing. For some reason in Trump's mind, the Autopen was proof that somebody else was running the country. Well, Donald used the Autopen several times. So what the hell is he talking about? And what the hell are you, the MAGA folks, talking about when that Trump never used is beyond me." Now, again, let me stop right there about what Joy Behar is obviously, saying. Now, she's obviously getting very pent up and angry about the fact of what Trump is doing here to Joe Biden with the whole use of the Autopen thing. And look, we know that this Autopen subject did create a lot of controversy over the years. That's a given fact. And now you have Trump taking action on that front. Now, look, we know one thing about all of this is that the problem that I have is you have Hollywood celebrities coming out about this. You have the music industry, the film industry, many actors and performers that represent both of those getting very political over this and mixing it in with their careers. And now you have The View, which is not a shocker or a surprise at all, let's be very real about that. But now you have The View making things even worse for themselves. After they made these Joe Biden comments, their ratings are hitting an all-time low now, to the point that ABC is in pure panic mode about how to make more cost cutbacks and go back into their cost containment plan or strategy, whatever have you, to take that to the next level. And that's how much of a financial disaster they really are in when it comes to not just The View, but all ABC-run programs, whether it's Good Morning America or Jimmy Kimmel Live, etc., etc. Now, she goes on to continue, the media is not failing because they are spreading lies. The media is failing because they are being silenced under this man, Donald Trump, that is now doing everything in his power to do what he has to do to remain in office beyond his second term, she says. Mark my words, he will try to find a way to do that. Everyone needs to open their damn eyes already that we have a child running the White House right now. And the MAGA crowd, well, they are encouraging this man's terrible behavior and are un-American as far as I'm concerned. You all just need to shut up right now. So there's Joy Behar again, going on that constant trope, and this is something that also sounds absolutely ridiculous, is how you have a lot of these Hollywood celebrities and those in the media that do go on that very long-winded old trope that Trump is going to try to stay in office for a third term and actually will bend around the laws to remain in the White House forever and ever. And that's just a fantasy made up in their own mind. That's basically just an extreme view to push their political talking points and to just make them sound a little bit more, I guess you could say, intimidating, but it's not going to work with a lot of people. A lot of people know better than that. What's interesting about this, though, is that they did comment on how the media is failing and that the media is dealing with a lot of ratings disasters. And this goes for The View as well, by the way. And they're really, indirectly mentioning that. They're really, angry about that because we know that Joy, Sunny, and Whoopi, they admitted this, that they take the show, their show, very personally. It's not just a job. It's not just a contract deal. They actually do take it very personally, and their political views are very personal and real that they display on live television. They mean what they say, and that's exactly why people despise Joy, Whoopi, and Sunny the most, is because they are phony, let's be very real about this, but they're also not that phony when it comes to what they actually believe in, if that makes sense to you guys, because there are some media outlets out there that are just playing a game, that they are just trying to gaslight their audience, right? Something like that, to bump up ratings, perhaps. But now you have Joy, Whoopi, and Sunny. They legitimately are deranged, and they actually do take their politics very personally, and they push it onto their audience, when really it should be all about entertainment. It should be about entertaining subjects, and like how The View was years and years ago, before, how it turned out to be in 2015, 2016, maybe even before that. But overall, I would love to hear what everyone has to say about this whole Biden twist going on right now, causing dozens of celebrities to come forward, and we'll talk more about that in the coming hours. And I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.